Russell Westbrook is headed to Denver. He was waived this week by Utah after the Clippers attached a second-round pick to send him there, get Chris Dunn back in return and a sign and trade. I hope there's somebody in Utah that's sending Russell Westbrook his Jazz jerseys. Like, I just hope there's somebody in that front office.
Video tributes too here.
Video tributes, the whole night. Like, just have some fun with it, man. Like, welcome back, Russ. Like, you can have like some, NBA Today clip of like Russell Westbrook's been traded to the Utah Jazz. Russell Westbrook's been traded to the Utah Jazz twice now in the last couple of years. He's been traded to Utah. I just hope somebody in that Danny Ainge, Justin Zanuck front office is like telling their guys, make him jerseys and send it to him.
I don't know if this was the right tone that they wanted to hit or the right notes, pun intended, but I did see at their social media account when they announced the news, they did the whole hashtag take note. Note.
Well, I mean, that's, yeah. But didn't remember when Carmelo was traded to Atlanta? Didn't the Hawks make a Carmelo jersey and he was like immediately waived? Like, I think they did that. So I wish the Jazz, or hope the Jazz do something like that. But now it sounds like, by all reports, Russ is headed to Denver. And it sounds like this is because Nikola Jokic wants Russ in Denver. Russ is a polarizing guy. He had his ups and downs with the Clippers. Didn't end well. Just didn't fit with that team. Couldn't make shots in the playoffs. Do you get that? What do you make of the Nuggets and Nikola Jokic specifically wanting Russell Westbrook on that team?
Well, I think it's two things. Organizationally, I think it's because the Nuggets don't have any other better alternatives. And they need to replace some departing key rotation players with KCP and Reggie Jackson last season, losing Bruce Brown and Ish Smith. But he is, well-liked among the NBA players because of his competitiveness and his pedigree. But I will say that I think that it'll be good for the regular season, but I have my doubts about the playoffs. And here's a few reasons. Like the Clippers, the Nuggets can better shield Russell Westbrook's inefficiencies and weaknesses far better than the Lakers could have because of their roster construction issues. So I think that he can be of value as long as he's coming off the bench and not thinking he's a starter, because it's better for Jamal Murray to be the point guard than Russell Westbrook to do his thing. But I think that can lead to regular season success if he is leading that second unit with just doing Russell Westbrook things, with moving the pace, being competitive, adding some juice when, maybe some of their core is not feeling like they have that juice during the regular season, and also during the chances that Jamal Murray is having an injury. That's the only time that Russ should start. I think the problem that we've seen with Russ, even during his time with the Clippers, is that he can embrace things when he just put his foot in the door. But the longer time goes on, he wants to have the role and expectations that he had when he was in his prime. And as we saw in the playoffs this past season, even when Kawhi Leonard was out with his injury, Russell Westbrook wasn't reliable, and his minutes dictated that. So, yeah, I think Michael Malone, he can manage him. He's a good head coach. He knows how to, prop guys up and also hold them accountable. But I think that this is just a regular season solution. It's not a playoff solution.
Well, look, to succeed in Denver, you've got to make shots playing off Nikola Jokic. Michael Porter Jr. has thrived in that. Jamal Murray playing the two-man game with Jokic has thrived with that. KCP made a lot of three-pointers playing off Nikola Jokic. I saw some stuff like Russ can shoot corner threes. Like, stats don't back that up. Like, I'm looking at Russ's numbers. Left corner three last season, 25.8%. Right corner three last season, 29.7%. Above the break threes last season, 26.7%. He's not making threes. And, if you're putting him out there, teams are going to leave him alone. Like, they're going to let him camp out in either corner or at the top of the key and say, beat us. We'll put another defender on Jokic or on Murray or whoever and defend you that way. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, they don't have a lot of great options in terms of a backup guard who's got experience. They're going to rely heavily on young players next year. And they won't be made, they won't make it or break it based on Russell Westbrook, right? They'll be made or broken based on Julian Strawther and Christian Brown and guys like that playing at, and Peyton Watson playing at a high level or not. But I don't see how Russell Westbrook helps them. I I don't get the fit. I don't get it. Maybe Jokic loves his competitiveness. Everybody does. He is well regarded in locker rooms. But I don't get it. I really don't. Like he's good in transition. Like, you can give him the ball and send him on his way that way. And sure, if you want to use him as a spot starter, if you're going to keep Murray out some games to rest him or for health reasons, I get it from that perspective. But, in terms of playing meaningful minutes, I don't see it. You got to be a 3-point shooter. He's not a 3-point shooter. That's kind of what it boils down to.
I'm with you 100%. It's all circumstances. And to your point, he's not a missing piece of the championship puzzle. He's just a nice addition. But when we're ranking outside of Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., it's more about their young guys' development with Christian Brown and Peyton Watson than it is Russell Westbrook being able to rekindle the magic of his prime years. Because we've seen, even with a better roster and maybe more empowerment with the Clippers, that scenario doesn't exist. He's in a different stage in his career. And I'm amused you brought up those analytics about his corner threes. I remember during his time with the Lakers, there were numbers that suggested the same thing. Oh, he's better when he shoots from the corner three. But what the numbers really represented was he was just not as terribly, or he was just not as bad compared to other marks around 3-point range, but it was still bad.
Yeah, he's sub 30 from every spot on the floor when it comes to 3-pointers. The numbers don't lie. I give him credit for how he's adapted over the years, becoming a sixth man and, kind of embracing that role at times with the Clippers. And I do think he had some success there. But I don't get it with the Nuggets. He's going to be on a minimum contract, so they could just walk away, whenever they wanted to. But I just don't see it being a difference maker in Denver. Mark, great stuff, man. Always appreciate you taking some time to join me here on the show. Check out Mark over at Sportskeeda. He's got a great piece with Chris Mullen up right now. Check him out, Sporting Tribune, Fox Sports Radio as well. Mark, good stuff, man. Thanks for joining me.
Chris, great stuff on your end. Always appreciate you, man.